What is up, my friends, and how's it going? Welcome back to the 19th episode of our Mauryan campaign with your fellow comrade Summary. In the previous episode, we had conquered Hayasdan and taken it away from the Armenians and pretty much dissected their kingdom, taking away their eastern holdings and pretty much relegating them to the western half of Asia Minor. Meanwhile, they are at war with several factions and have taken quite a beating and are in the process of losing more land to the Egyptians as well as the Nabateans. The Nabateans, meanwhile, have kind of wiped out the Seleucids, and it's a shame we'll never get to actually fight the Seleucids. I was looking forward to that. However, it is what it is. Meanwhile, we have also established a defensive alliance with the Romans, and not that I really wanted a defensive alliance with them. It was more so that they were at war with the Lugii, and for secondary reasons, I wanted to gain more visibility on the map. And getting a defensive alliance with military access pretty much reveals the entire faction and its surroundings to you. So that is always great. As you can see, we pretty much have an almost complete view of the entire Mediterranean, barring the Egyptian Sea, and of course the far western half of the Sea of Hispania. Meanwhile, we did break our vassalage of the Ardhan, and they had declared war on us, so we went ahead and took Gabala for ourselves. And also our spy up here just completed assassinating the last of the characters, so the Ardhan are done and done for. In terms of our economy, as you can see, our economy is fairly struggling right now, and that is because we are solely relying on a single province to generate all that income. And even though Bactria is generating 58,000 per turn, our army upkeep is quite massive at 70,000 ducats per turn. However, that being said, we have moved closer towards Nabatean settlements. And as you can see, we have kind of changed our army composition up a little bit. I have gotten rid of 2 of our late Indian armored cavalry units and replaced them with 1 unit of chariots as well as 1 artillery unit. As promised, we will get to see how I use chariots in the game. Meanwhile, up here in the north, you can see I am in the process of kind of trying to change the army composition that I currently have. And so I'm going to quickly go ahead, move this army down south into Praspa, or if I can, into Ganzak, since it has more population. Quickly go ahead, disband those 2 late Indian armored cavalry units, and get the chariot and field artillery. Meanwhile, over here we do have Sena 9 Bosphorus, and it is slowly making its way northwards in order to defend our Sarmatian holdings. However, that being said, we are ready to declare the war. Keep in mind that Sena 4 Parthava has not been updated to the latest army composition, and I can't afford to do so because, you know, I need to kind of protect myself over here against the Nabateans. And once I kind of deal with them in this region up north over here in Syria, I can then move Sena for Parthava back to Parthava and or back to Mara rather, and update that army composition. However, without any further ado, let's see how we can declare war against the Nabateans. If we do declare war against them, we will call in Tapsakos as well as the Kidri, who are a satrapy of the Nabateans. I would like to somehow manage to declare war on them without having to actually declare war on them directly. And there is no such option. Thapsacos is a defensive ally of the Ptolemids. And the Ptolemids are looking fairly dangerous. They do have 2 full fleets up here in Olbia. And should they decide to attack Olbia, then they will be taking the province without any resistance. And that is why I am actually in the process of marching Sena 9 Bosphorus up north to protect our Sarmatian holdings from the Egyptians. Let's actually go ahead and declare this war directly. We don't have any other option. And yeah. Okay. I'm gonna call in our ally because why not? Lay siege to Hatra, Seleucia, and Ashoka down here in the south. Our faction leader still going strong. He is 65 years of age, so there's not that many years left in him. However, his heir is looking pretty decent in terms of gravitas and stats. And his grandson is actually named Chandragupta, which is kind of nice. And I will make him the heir once Ashoka dies. And why I find that nice is because actually Ashoka's grandfather was Chandragupta as well, Chandragupta Maurya. That's quite nice. We come full circle with Chandragupta down there. However, enough waffling, and let's hop right into the battle. Beginning with the south, let's take Charax first. Welcome to the battle. I am going to deploy this time in order to show you the new units that we have hired. So as usual, quickly the general into the first group, cavalry on the flank, spearmen in group 5, melee reserve infantry group 6, get our artillery, chariots and elephants. Okay, perfect. And we are going to move our artillery up front over there. Keep our chariots in the back. And I am going to lock their formation. Move our chariots further behind. We do want to keep our reserve infantry over there. And let's get our elephants out on the left and right flanks, supported by a unit of cavalry. And with that, we are done with the deployment. However, let's take a quick look at the new artillery units. Fairly standard. Looks like a Roman catapult, except you got Indians operating the machinery. And nothing much to actually see here. However, when we go to the chariots, this is another one of my favorite units, and I have actually done a lot of work on this unit, along with the help of Sergeant Meme Swaraj, who has done the geometry. Meanwhile, I have done the texturing. So looking at this chariot unit over here, straight up you see the I don't know what they call this, but let's say the chariot itself, or the housing of the chariot in which the rider stands upon, or the platform. As you can see, this fabric is being designed by me, as well as these ropes and cloth railings. One of the other things I had designed is this leather quiver with the bamboo javelins, the ropes as well. Sergeant Meme Swaraj designed the geometry of the umbrella, and I had designed the textures for the umbrella, a combination of fabric and gold, as you can see. And also with the pillars, the same combination of wood and fabric. That's really nice. However, my favorite thing about these chariots, and before I jump into the favorite things, another small thing I did design was this head armor for the horse unit. As you can see, the blue and orange, and there's also a red and yellow variant. Apart from that, I do believe I have also designed this tiger skin pelt for the horse units. So that's always nice. And finally, let's just move into the favorite thing of the chariots, and that is actually the chariot wheels. And now this is what I designed, and as you can see, fairly intricate engravings in gold on the wheels or on the rims of the chariots, as well as you have gold components to the chariots, a kind of semi-gloss maroon paint, which was fairly common in India. And as you can see, there is a blade on these chariots, so it is a Scythed chariot. It is a heavy chariot, so should be able to do a lot of damage. However, without any further ado, let us begin the battle. And we are slowly going to march our infantry up into position.
Marching order! Missile! At the ready!
Go ahead, quickly readjust our spearmen as there was a gap in their lines. The enemy doesn't seem like they want to charge us. However, I do believe their fleet intends to land over here. And we could actually, try to attack them over there. I'm going to keep moving forward. And going to double time it with the movement. I do want to get into position as quickly as possible. Meanwhile, the right flank is looking clear, so I am going to move our chariots onto that right flank. And we are going to focus fire over here with our field artillery. They should do a lot of damage. Meanwhile, our archers are unleashing hell on the enemy units. And with the artillery, one of the things I like is that it kind of forces the enemy to get into range. As you had seen in a previous battle, it kind of forced me to get into the fight as soon as possible. But that's always good because you don't have to personally march up to the enemy. Meanwhile, over here, some of the enemy units have disembarked, so I am going to quickly move our elephants across in order to deal with them. Move them across to that left flank. This elephant is marching across the entire front line, so I'm going to slightly move him away from that. Okay. Get the cavalry as well on that left flank. And now we can march the elephants normally across.
Elephants ready for battle!
Our artillery has already gathered up 100 kills as our archers. And artillery really doesn't do that much more damage than archer units. However, they are useful, as I said, in forcing the enemy to sally forth. Great. And now we can move our chariots into position. At 155, that's great.
We are at your command.
Get these horsemen to attack those archers. This heavy cavalry can go ahead and attack those archers.
War elephants!
And this is exactly how I use my chariots. I position them in a way so that I can move them. I don't really click on an attack. I just position them like so. Let's position them over here.
Our orders!
Get our archers to hit that unit, as well as archers to hit those units. And now that the chariots are in position, I am just going to use the up arrow key to move them across the enemy lines like so. And make sure that they actually go across our own lines. And then I hold down the shift key and issue command movement orders, kind of like this, to kind of force them to move across. And as you can see how quickly they routed the enemy units, which is really powerful. If I show you the amount of kills they got, they already got 125 kills, and this is exactly what I mean when I say that Chariots can rack up kills a lot faster than
Are your orders?
even elephant units. And with that, the battle is done. I do believe we have taken only 5 casualties. And we are going to go ahead and loot the settlement. We do need some ducats. So, gonna go ahead, loot the settlement, turn off taxation in that province. Repair some of the buildings. We do have temples over here. And I do want to convert Seleucia into a food province, although I'm not entirely sure if I should. But I'm going to go ahead and do that. So we'll go ahead and dismantle this building. And now we'll move on to our next siege, which is the siege of Seleucia. Alright. Alright, so here we are, ready to lay siege to Seleucia. We are going to go ahead, deploy our archers, move our towers towards the enemy gates, and also move our infantry up ahead in order to burn down those gates. Meanwhile, we are going to flaming shot this artillery piece.
We are at your command.
At speed!
Alright. We have turned off the fire at will for our catapult units. We are going to move them up slowly.
At speed.
And once they are closer to the walls, we shall begin attacking the walls. Meanwhile, I can also move my elephant units since they can attack the enemy.
Orders. Riders advance.
And we'll move our mace men up close, but not too close. I don't want them to take archer fire.
Archers.
As you command!
At the ready.
Spearmen are in range to burn down the gates. We're gonna go ahead and do that.
Quick march!
The spearmen even closer to the gates.
Our general is under attack.
And go ahead and burn down the gates. 28%, that's great. %. That's great. We do want to burn down the gates as quickly as possible. One of the good things about these new archers is that they will take a lot less damage. Meanwhile, our catapults have reached the walls, so we are going to go ahead and attack the walls. 21%, that's great.
Ready!
Almost at 100% with the gates over there. And we have burnt down the gates, so quickly gonna move our spearmen up to help attack that.
Orders!
Get our macemen closer to the fight. Now that we have dealt with the enemy archers. And the artillery should be able to break that wall in the next barrage. And a lot of units have died as a result of that. Fantastic.
Artillery!
And we're gonna move our artillery further to this side to create another opening over there. Keep in mind, if I do attack this, it'll only damage the tower, but it will not create an opening. Get our war elephants there, get our generals in as well. Move our archers to this flank in order to hit the enemy from the sides.
Stone thrower!
At the double!
Get our chariots as well over here. Chariots are fairly useless in a siege battle.
Infantry!
The gates have been damaged, so can go ahead and charge with our elephant units. They do have some spearmen, so I will try to attack the spearmen.
Infantry at the ready!
Armored elephant!
And we are going to charge our elephants through the breach. Meanwhile, our general can charge in from this direction. And those units are already wavering, so that's great.
War elephant! Forward!
General goes through the gates. Meanwhile, our artillery can hit this wall over here. As soon as our generals get within attacking range, we are going to inspire. Now we can get our macemen across to finish the job. And try to catch up to the enemy missile cavalry. They are going to be faster than our elephants, however we have caught up to them. With that, they should rout fairly quickly. Great. And now the entire enemy army is routing as well, so yeah, fairly easy siege. As you can see, siege equipment does help a lot, or field artillery does help a lot in siege battles, so. And with that, we have conquered Seleucia. Go ahead, we could loot the settlement. And I am going to go ahead and do that. Our public order is looking decent, despite looting the settlement. Quickly repair the buildings I do need to repair. Turn off the advisor. Don't need him. And yeah, with that we are going to go into the last battle, which is the Battle of Hatra.
Great glory!
Alright, welcome to the battle. We are going to slowly march our army into position, get within artillery range of the enemy units, and fast forward over here. And with that, we are within range now. So I am going to go ahead and choose this spot to attack. The reason I choose the spot is because, you know, it'll keep firing over there. If I do choose a unit, it will kind of follow that unit. And if that unit engages our front lines, then that could be kind of problematic.
At the ready!
Quickly put our archers on guard mode as well. a quick look at these missile cavalry units. They are Jav Cav, so gonna go ahead and select our archers to actually hit that Jav Cav. Meanwhile, this archer can hit this archer unit, this archer can hit this archer unit, this archer can hit this archer unit.
Stone thrower!
Gonna update our stone thrower to hit that.
War elephants!
Just waiting for the spearmen on the right flank to get a little bit closer to our elephant units, and then we are going to charge. Meanwhile, our chariots can move up ahead and try to wipe them out.
At speed! Quickly now! Elephants ready in movement!
Our general is under attack.
Alright, we need to micro the chariots over here.
Understand? As you say, forever loyal. We understand. As you command. We understand. As you command.
As can be seen, the chariots are doing some decent amount of damage.
As you command.
The battle is turning in our favor.
Gonna keep moving them around with the movement keys.
We are at your
Charge with our cavalry over here.
armored elephants.
Meanwhile, our armored elephants can go ahead. Artillery has done its job, so I'm gonna turn it off.
Command.
Reposition our chariots. 200 kills, as you can see, fairly OP. And we're gonna move them across the front lines over there.
Quickly now. War
Get our elephants to attack that unit as well as our horsemen. Quickly select the chariots, make sure they pull through. And as you can see, they are already routing the enemy units.
quickly now. Riders advance. Riders at the double.
And move them back.
Riders advance. Melee.
Can invest our macemen to attack those units. And while these chariots can go ahead and redeploy.
Armored elephants.
Inspire with our general. Move our chariots across that way.
Quickly now. Riders at the double. Advance at speed.
Quick look at the chariot kills. Look at that. 400.
We understand. As you command.
500. So quickly. Just crazy. Just crazy the amount that they do it. And with that, we have ended the battle. Just a quick look at the kills. You can see the elephants have only gotten about 170 kills, including our general, who has been in the fight pretty much since the start of the fight. But our chariots at 562 kills. It's just absolutely insane. Alright. With that, we have taken down Hatra, and we are almost done conquering the whole of Mesopotamia. I'm gonna go ahead and loot the settlement.
At your command.
It is going to give me minus 96 public order in this turn. However, that should resolve itself in the next turn. Quick look at our politics. I am not going to level up each character. As you can see, we have a plethora of characters. However, I am going to try to marry off any character that can be married. Like so. And I'm just going to marry one character per turn so that I don't incur incremental costs for gravitas to marry. I can do about 2 per turn, but then I have to wait a turn for it to come down, back down to the original. And as you can see, we do have a lot of characters, so there is absolutely no point in upgrading all of them. So for now, I will be pretty much focusing on the far left side of our family tree, which is pretty much our lineage from Ashoka. From Bindusara down through Ashoka, down to Shatru, and then Chandragupta. And I have almost leveled up Chandragupta's spouse, Atmaja. So very quickly over here, I am going to level these spouses of his brothers. Go ahead, use some authority as well as some zeal. Meanwhile, Atmaja can go on a vacation to improve her cunning. Alright, we do have a considerable amount of treasury now, so we can go ahead and upgrade some buildings. And there's pretty much nothing that I would want to upgrade over here. Right. So I am at war with the Amaseyans as well, Kidri over here. So I would like to attack them at some point. My armies are slowly making their way across. I guess I'll have to march them up north in order to help the situation over here in Asia. In Anatolia, rather. And yeah, pretty much looking very good for the next turn. We have pretty much initiated a war against the Nabateans and pretty much taken half of what they own. That is always great. Meanwhile, these armies can attack my army in Arsamosata, sorry. So I'm going to go ahead and try to sabotage that army to prevent it from reaching Arsamosata. And he fails. So it looks like they will attack Arsamosata in the end turn. And I will see you in that battle should that come to pass. And I'm guessing I can go ahead and end the turn, but there are several things I'd like to do. I'd like to upgrade the buildings over here in Mada and especially in Parthava. Keep in mind I have changed the capital of our empire to Hecatomb Pylos, as it does have that military academy which gives increased ranks to newly recruited generals. We are going to go ahead, upgrade the buildings over here for that extra growth rate. I do want to maximize the growth rate and get as many warhorse breeding buildings over here to give us more charge bonus upon recruitment. However, with that, I am ready to end the turn. I do have to upgrade the army traditions over here and could actually go for the increased missile range as well as the melee defense for cavalry units. Great. And quick look at our units missile range, 243. That is insane. And here we are in the next turn. Some of our characters have returned from a vacation. Meanwhile, other characters have leveled up. So let's go ahead and get some skills for them. Quickly gonna focus on that cultural conversion over here, as well as the empire maintenance. We, as I promised, empire maintenance actually almost at 0. Not 0 really, it's at 39%. But it is reducing and it will reduce even further. Meanwhile, our army over here can get our general over here, Ashoka Maurya, who's got the same name as our faction leader, can also level up. And over here we can get some improvements to our champion.
We fight for you, my lord.
Right.
At your command.
I'm gonna move Sena 5 Transoxiana into Armenia in order to deal with the Nabateans up in the north. Meanwhile, I can also move Sena 3 Bactria down towards in an attempt to take Edessa.
Is that all, my lord?
Sena 6 Parsa can also move to the north,
That is impossible. Finding shelter, my
as well as Sena 8 Mesopotamia. Can move towards Hatra.
Ready for battle.
But we need a couple of turns for some replenishment. It seems like we do have some population already, which is rather strange in Charak and Seleucia. So that's great. I mean, I'm not complaining, but it is kind of weird. Build that growth rate building, get some farms going, build some temples, convert this into a fishing port. Stop that conversion over there. I do need to build a temple. And things are looking good for this turn, so I am going to go ahead and end the turn. After a quick look at some politics, we won't be able to do much because we don't have a lot of ducats. However, we can improve the zeal at least of this character and give her that authority. Well, more authority. And with that, I'm ready to end the turn, so I will see you all in the next turn. Quick look at our spy. He is free, so I am going to move him here and steal food. These two armies can attack me over here, so that is something I should have kind of done some reconnaissance before marching myself into Edessa. But I can, however, retreat should they decide to attack me. This army over here can attack Hatra as well. Alright, welcome back to the next turn. The Orchitai and several other factions have declared war on us. However, the main concern is, of course, the Ptolemies. We are going to go ahead and quickly get our army, Sena 9 Bosphorus to Phanagoria.
Supplies.
Try to get him across into Sarmatia.
Set up the wall.
While we also have a spy in the region, who I will use to kind of investigate what exactly is going on over here. Meanwhile, I want to see if I can declare peace against these guys.
Come on.
They do
Gods
accept.
will frown that I have access.
The Orchitai, will you?
Quickly and well.
They will never go for peace. Great. Army can go ahead and attack this stack of hake. It is 100%. Go ahead and enslave the captives.
My lord.
Move this army closer to Arsamosata.
Ready for all.
Meanwhile, now I can move this army towards Ganzak.
Get to it, man. At your command.
Gonna move this army up north towards Trapezos.
We fight for you, my lord. My lord.
And over here,
At your command.
both of our armies have kind of replenished. So I am gonna march him towards Dura.
Let them cower before our might.
Go ahead and upgrade and get some farms. Can also upgrade our wonders as we have the technology to do so. Quite expensive. So I'm actually going to go ahead and cancel that wonder, actually. Come to think of it, because it does also give Persian culture and we don't want that. And we can prioritize on upgrading over here in our capital province. Build some more warhorse breeds.
At your command.
How may I serve you?
Spy deeper into the Kidri lands.
That is all.
Right. And not entirely sure what the garrison over here in Chariots is looking like. It is looking pretty poor, so I am going to leave them there for a turn.
My lord. Ready for orders.
Meanwhile, this army over here can also march towards Dura. This army can go up north towards Arsamosata to support that army.
You call this a
It'll take him 2 turns to get there, while it will also take me 2 turns to get to Trapezos. Quickly gonna pull our dignitary to help with the cultural conversion in Mesopotamia. Do have another dignitary over here, so move him towards Mesopotamia as well. And can engage in some politics. Some authority over there. Prove her cunning as well. Yep, and with that we are ready to end the turn. Welcome back to the next turn. This is going to be the last turn for this video. And quickly over here, gonna see what we can do. We did want to march this army up towards Arsamosata, as well as we wanted to march this army back down into Ganzak.
Your next
Go ahead and disband these 2 units and get the chariot
is a great
and field artillery. Meanwhile, this army over here,
my lord. Ready for orders.
will take 2 turns to reach regardless. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and move this army to get into Trapezos. I can upgrade all my units. I wonder how expensive it'll be per army. 3,600, that is a lot. So I am instead just gonna march this army upwards towards Hatra. Meanwhile, down in Chariots, our garrison is slowly recovering. We do need a lot of ducats in order to level up our provinces. We do have a lot of provinces that we can level up. However, we are going to be a little bit more frugal with what exactly we are leveling up, so that, you know, we can keep some buffer in terms of economy.
Ready for
And Sena 3 Bactria can actually go ahead and attack Dura, so that's great. We are going to go ahead and besiege the city. And I will fight the battle. And we'll see you all in the battle, after which I will end the video.
kill them all.
Alright, we are ready to attack the city. Quickly gonna move our spearmen up here to block the enemy's route into our city. Meanwhile, we are also gonna just select our artillery to attack those units over there.
Orders, my
Move
lord.
up our infantry as well as our flanks.
Ready. As you wish. Armored elephants. As you say.
And we are gonna fast forward here. The enemy doesn't seem too keen to attack, so we are going to move up a bit closer. Move our artillery as well as our missile infantry. use our archers to hit that unit. Alright, so the enemy is beginning to engage us. Means we can get our chariots into position over there. Get our elephants as well. Okay, we're gonna go ahead, move our chariots into the city. Quickly gonna enable the tooltip in order to see the damage our chariots do. And as you can see straight off the bat, it's crazy, it really is. And we are gonna move our chariots into the enemy blob over here. And as you can see, they are already 1,000 kills almost. Crazy actually, it is absolutely insane. 1,382 kills. And with that we have ended the battle and taken the city of Dura. Alright, down they go. And we are also going to go ahead and loot the settlement. Perfect. And turn off the taxes in here. Quickly repair the buildings we require. And can go ahead and actually convert that into a hospital. So I'm going to keep that building, repair it instead. And as you can see, we barely took any casualties. However, this chariot unit got almost 1,400 kills. That is insane. And that is the power of chariots. They're incredibly fragile. Keep in mind, they did lose 3 units fairly easily. And if you don't use chariots in the right way, you can pretty much lose your chariot units very easily. And I've actually seen that happen many times with many players. And so you kind of have to micromanage your chariots quite well. They are micro intensive, however, it is a high reward for a single unit to pretty much wipe out almost the entire enemy army. However, with that, I am going to end the video. And thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And if you liked the video, please like the video. And subscribe if you are interested for more peace and love.